From the NewsChannel 5 network, this is Inside Politics.
Hello, everyone. I'm NewsChannel 5's political analyst, Pat Nolan. Welcome to Inside Politics. Over the past 7 weeks, we've talked one-on-one with all of Nashville's mayoral candidates. We've asked them why they're running for mayor, where they stand on the issues, and what their vision is for Nashville's future. The final candidate to join us today is Megan Berry. Megan, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Pat.
We'll start with all the candidates with the same simple but very important question. Why are you running for mayor?
Well, I'm running because I think the next mayor has to bring a couple of things to the table: a deep understanding of government and a deep understanding of business, and have a track record on leading, and I'm that candidate.
You came to Nashville almost 25 years ago to attend graduate school.
I did.
You stayed here, you said, because you fell in love with your husband.
I did.
And you fell in love with the city. But a lot of the candidates have expressed concern that Nashville is changing maybe in ways they don't want. We're losing that special something. Are you concerned that the Nashville that you came to and grew to love is not the Nashville it used to be?
Well, you know, Pat, actually, I think the fact that we have so many new people coming here and bringing their exciting energy is what makes Nashville special. So no, I'm not worried at all that we are somehow losing what makes Nashville special.
Now, you were born in California. Your dad was in the service. You grew up in Kansas City. You even got your undergraduate degree in that same state. So what made you come east in the first place, to Nashville?
Well, actually Vanderbilt. When I was applying to graduate school, I wanted to go to the best school.
How did you even know where Vanderbilt was at that time?
You know, I did. I found it on a map.
Now, when you came here, you got an MBA from the Owen School, but originally your degree was in elementary education. That's a pretty big switch.
It is. I taught for a brief moment, and I figured out that I wanted to do something else, and I needed business background to do what I wanted to do.
Now, did you come from a family with an interest in politics? Did you ever dream when you came to Nashville you'd be running for office?
No, and I did run briefly as a fifth grader, and then again in high school.
Class president?
Secretary. Of course.
Did you win?
I did not. I lost by 1 vote, so I remember how important it is to vote.
But now, did you have a background in your family? Were your parents interested in politics? Did you get involved from them?
No, actually, my grandfather served on the school board in the small town where he was, but my parents and my folks are small town folks who were business people, and they're Republicans. You know, we're from Kansas, and they had a very good approach to being physically conservative but socially liberal.
Now, your professional background includes dealing with ethics and corporate social responsibility. Now, in politics, those two words don't always go well together, but how has your business background helped you when you work in the council, and how would it help you as being mayor?
Sure. So one of the biggest challenges and tasks that I've had in my professional career has to go in and fundamentally change how businesses do their practices. And I bring that same attention to government, I bring that same attention to detail.
Now, you're the only candidate in this race that's not a Nashville native. Several of your opponents talk quite a bit in their printed materials on their website about being multi-generational Nashvillians. Is that a problem for you this time, but not being a Nashville native?
I don't think so. I got here as fast as I could.
Which is what Phil Bredesen used to say.
I know, and it's true.
Now, Nashville hasn't had a native mayor for 25 years. So has this been a problem at all with what does your polling show? Did you find is this something you needed to talk to with voters to reassure them that it was still okay to keep an out-of-towner or somebody who's born out of town?
Actually, you know, it's interesting. I think most of the people who live here think of themselves as Nashvillians even if they weren't born here, and so I haven't come across that at all. They think of themselves as being from here. Let's
move to some issues. Let's move first to education. It's been quite a controversy as the school board has selected their candidate.
They have?
Their prime candidate to be the next schools director, Mike Leahy from over in Williamson County. There was a lot of people, there were several groups in the community who wanted them to put off the search, to go back to another search firm and go through it again. You didn't necessarily feel that way. Are you comfortable with the choice of Mike Leahy?
Well, what I said was I wanted the school board to take as long as they needed in order to find the best candidate, and the school board has moved forward.
And have they found the best candidate?
I think that Mike will do a great job. So, you know, I had the opportunity to meet with him, and they gave that opportunity to the mayor candidates, and some of us took that opportunity.
Now, Williamson County is considered perhaps the best school system in the state. Certainly has the best test scores, but it's a very different system than Metro. It's much more suburban. It's much more non-ethnic.
It is.
And doesn't have nearly the poverty problems that Davidson County does. So is he ready for this kind of a system?
Well, he comes with a background before he got to Williamson County of being in different kinds of school systems. So I think he's going to come and give us some fresh eyes and some fresh look and going to be exciting.
You're a big supporter of PreK, universal
Yes, I
PreK
am.
for all of Nashville. Have you talked to Mike Looney about that? I know the previous director very much was that way. Is he
Yes,
that way as
yes,
well?
Yes.
But he didn't seem to be implementing that in Williamson County.
Well, you know, I think that we had a long conversation about that, and he understands that when our kids are entering the kindergarten, that they need as much help as they can get.
Now, you want to try to get PreK universally done, and Nashville's moving in that direction, but the legislature and the governor have been kind of meh about it. So how do you change that? How do you get the legislature not to mess in your business on this? Because they've come down and messed in your business before with bills you've passed in the county.
They have, and I think that when we talk about, they left it alone this time, but we've got that $33 million in federal funds, and I think at the moment we're going to see how the impact that PreK is having, and I'm hoping that they'll continue to either see its value and expand it, at the minimum they'll leave us alone.
So this is not a red-blue kind of issue that can't be overcome because you're a Democrat and they're Republicans? Right. Now, there's also been an ongoing controversy, particularly with this school board, about what to do about charter schools. Mayor Dean has been a big supporter of charter schools. You are, but to a limited extent as compared to the mayor. Are you concerned that charter schools sort of erode the funding base for the regular schools within Metro? Well,
I think they're all public schools, and so it's about how we we do our resource allocation. And charter schools aren't going anywhere, and I think what we have to do is say, how do we fund the majority of our children, and the majority are in our traditional public schools.
Megan Berry is our guest. She's a candidate for mayor, the final one. We've had all 7 on the program the last 7 weeks. Back to continue our conversation with her after this break.